Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing Nick Saban's insights on name, image, and likeness and the college football evolution. And now, as always on Fridays, we're going to dive into our dating horror stories. Tate is very excited. I think Tate loves Fridays just because of these.
I kind of do.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I found these on a I think it's Casual Ireland subreddit. So all of these stories are based in Ireland. So some of
Okay,
the words might be a little different.
let me tell you something though, before we even
Hmm.
get into this.
Yes.
The Irish are my peeps. They are awesome people. They're some of the nicest people you would ever meet. I didn't know any Irish until I moved to Portugal.
Hmm.
I got stranded about in September, October. I got stranded in Dublin, Ireland for 2 days
Hmm.
at the airport. And, I met a bunch of people then. But then on my flight back, it was weird. It was like a little party. People were singing and sharing snacks and everything on the plane. I'm like, what kind of flight is this? The Irish people are unreal.
Yeah.
Super sweet people. Awesome.
I am actually I like Irish from Irish descent. My parents went to Ireland I think 2 years ago and they loved it and they loved the Irish people. They agree that they're really cool and really nice.
Wonderful, wonderful people. I mean,
Hmm.
they really are. I would, beautiful country, amazing and nice people.
Hmm.
I would recommend Ireland for anyone.
Yeah. All right. So our first one. Met a guy on Tinder a few years ago. He was really handsome and we got chatting and he seemed genuinely nice and funny. He asked me to go on a date and said we would get food. The day comes and he drives an hour to collect me. He's even more handsome in person and the chat flows and I'm thinking, man, he's great. Tells me his friends are having a barbecue and we could stop in for a second. This was my first time meeting him and I kind of didn't want to meet his friends yet, but I agreed and let him bring me to the barbecue. We got to a lovely house and it's full to the brim with people. He introduces me to loads of people, and next thing I know, I'm talking to his ma'am and nanny, which mom and grandma, I believe, while he's off
Oh,
drinking with his friends, and I'm told this is his sister's engagement party, and this guy I barely knew decided to bring me as a date. I met his entire family, parents, siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends for the first time I met him. We all went to the local pub where his nanny ended up having a Coyote Ugly moment on the bar to a band singing Zombie by the Cranberries, and at the end of the night this guy is now too drunk to drive me an hour home, tells me he loves me and he's never felt like this about anyone, then proceeds to
oh,
vomit on my shoes. Oh, and his
that's a
ex-girlfriend
keeper.
and his ex-girlfriend was there and kept calling me a homewrecker. This guy was 29
Ooh,
and I was around 20. Honestly, weirdest night of my life. I ended up getting a mate to come collect me. I deleted Tinder and have never spoken to the guy again.
mm. There's some things to unpack here. Okay.
Yes.
So I didn't have a problem with him bringing a date to the wedding.
Right.
How about a little heads up?
Yeah, I
Hey,
feel like he
Becky,
should have told her. Yeah, for
this is my
sure.
sister's wedding. You can't be playing it like, hey, some people I know is having a
My friends.
barbecue.
My friends are having.
Yeah, my friends are having a barbecue. Right off the top, if you gotta lie to get a date to your sister's wedding, you're doing it all wrong already. Am I right? Because
You're
I'm a
right.
little
Yeah.
I'm a little upset if I go on a date
Mm-hmm.
and a girl is like, "Oh yeah, do you mind if we stop in? I have a friend of mine that's having a barbecue."
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out it's her brother's wedding. Mama there, grandma there, Aunt Beatrice is there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I'm upset about this. it's how he did it.
Yeah.
It's you don't want to, if a guy's going to start off with a little white lie right off the top, mm-mm.
Red flag.
Yes.
I need to get a
If you're
flag.
going to start off with just a little, you can't do that. Just be like, listen, my sister is getting married. It's a blast. My sister, the reception, the wedding, everything's a
Mm-hmm.
blast. Why don't you come along as my date? Then you already have heads up.
Yes.
Then when old girl comes stepping to you and calling you a home wrecker, you hit her with that 3-piece hot and spicy and keep on partying. you know. But when you're not
Yeah.
prepared and you're over there, next thing you know, because I wouldn't be happy about this. If I show up I'm at a party and mom is there,
Mm-hmm.
dad is there,
Mm-hmm.
grandma is is twerking on the bar. you know, I'm not prepared for that. I can't. I'm not
Yeah.
used to seeing grandma twerk on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, Faith, here's another question.
Yes.
Did you even understand the whole concept of Coyote Ugly?
No, I knew. I knew what it meant.
Okay, I because that movie is so old.
I haven't seen it, but I
I'm
understand what
like
the phrase means. So.
you were like a zygote when that movie came out. So I'm like, I don't even know if you know what Coyote Ugly is.
Granny was getting down with it. She was having a good old time. And honestly,
so,
I would have supported it. I would have been like, "You go, Granny."
but you can't have okay, if you're gonna be there, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
bring a date. One, you gotta let the date know, hey, this is my sister's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, my ex is gonna be there. I don't want her there,
Mm-hmm.
but my sister and her are real tight, so they invited her.
Mm-hmm.
Just to let you know, because she gets a little drunk, she start hitting that henny. Next, you know, she wants to fight. She wants to call you a home wrecker. So you know what's going on
Mm-hmm.
before things start getting out of hand.
Yeah.
You see the ex, and she's on her third or fourth glass of Hennessy. It's time to get your
Anybody
rap.
on anybody on Hennessy is. Whew. I've never met a person who's had Hennessy and is nice after drinking Hennessy.
you know, all right, a
Hennessy
little.
was crafted by the devil.
This woman. This is a quick commercial break here as far as this one goes. One time I was at a grocery store. This is when I was living in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into this nice black lady, and she was in the ice cream aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow we struck up a conversation, and she was talking about how she's been on a diet and all this stuff, but how the doctor's been getting on her. But she's like, she don't care what he's doing. She got to have her H&H every night. And I'm like,
Every night?
and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
I'm like, what is H&H? And she's like, Hennessy and Haagen-Dazs. So she gets her
Oh.
H&H on every night.
Hennessy
And
every
she
night. That's
H&H, Hennessy and Haagen-Dazs. So she's doing
Henny and
Hennessy
Hog.
floats.
Haagen
Oh,
Dazs
girl.
isn't even that good. Pick a different ice cream.
I don't know, but I can't picture no Hennessy float. That always stuck in my head. So
Ooh.
now,
I've had Hennessy one time. That is one of the most disgusting liquors I have ever had. And I don't know how people just throw it back like it's nothing.
you were missing a scoop of Haagen Dazs. That's why you didn't get that. You need the Haagen Dazs cuts the Henny. That's what it is.
Oh, man.
Anyway, but yeah, this whole back to the original story, he slipped up many a time. And then he got drunk, threw
Too
up
drunk
on
to
her
drive her
stuff,
home. Yeah.
and left her there.
Mm-hmm.
That is a disaster. Don't blame um what was the dating app she was on? Tinder.
Tinder. Yeah.
Don't blame Tinder.
Mm.
You know, do not blame Tinder.
Ooh, I don't know. I've been on Tinder, and the pickings you get from Tinder are not great.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I got a Tinder story for you. Then I'm gonna throw a quick Tinder story in there.
Mm,
So this is something that happened recent in the last 2 years.
mm-hmm.
So now you gotta remember, I'm married.
Yeah.
So make sure this is part of the lead in. So when we first got to Europe, I was at a store and I met this lady, and I think she was from the US as well. And she's like, "Oh, I love it here." And she was like, "I have so many friends." I'm like, "How'd you meet so many people so fast?" And she was like, "Tinder here has this platonic section where
Mm,
and you can put in you just want friends, and I met all my friends through the platonic section."
hmm.
So I'm like, really interesting. So I run it past the wife. I
Mm-hmm.
run it past wifey, and we look at it like, okay, it looks legit. So I'm like, American, just moved to Portugal, happily married, only looking for friends.
Mm-hmm.
It was DM Central. people were people were dropping in, giving. Nobody wanted to be Tate's friend. Every you
I could have told
people,
you that. I could have told you
whoa,
that.
whoa! I was all Mister Innocent. I sit down with the wifey. Let's see who we have today.
Oh my
Bam,
god.
bam. I'm like, oh hell.
I could have told you that.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
I had to get rid of my account. So there it is.
With this story though, I agree. He should have just been honest and was like, "Hey, I need a date for my sister's engagement party. Can you come with me? Are you comfortable with
Yes.
that? My entire family is going to be there." But they're they're great to hang out with, obviously, because Granny can get down and party on top of the bar. So I mean, if you would have been honest, everything would have been fine. You could have prepared, you could have Ubered, you could have done this, you could have done that, lined up a drive home, everything like that. Or you could have said no, and you could have found somebody else. Because I'm sure
But mm-mm, mm-mm.
somebody.
I'm gonna stop you. I don't think he was. I don't think listen. If you are at the point where the only option you have is to lie to a girl that you met on Tinder and trick her to come to that wedding,
Mm,
so you have a date at that wedding, you don't. He don't have a lot of game. He don't have a lot of options.
uh-huh.
And so if he had to lie to you to get you there, chances are you were his only hope. Do you see that?
I guess, yeah. But I mean, he could have
Big,
just gone by himself. His
but
ex
you had
girlfriend was there and calling her a homewrecker, so I'm sure the ex girlfriend.
homewrecker Becky was there though. You know, and that's the thing. He probably didn't want to go by himself, knowing that his ex was there. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what it was. He wanted
Maybe.
some eye candy on his arm because the ex was there.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But
And that's
honesty is the best policy, guys. Don't lie to your dates. Don't
no, you
lie to
shouldn't.
your dates.
If you have to lie, then you're missing something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm brutally honest with my dates. But I'm retired now.
Was. You were. You were brutally honest with your dates.
Yes. But yeah, you got to be honest. And then you'd be surprised the things you can be honest about, and people will be like
Right.
they're cool with it. They just appreciate the
I
fact that you are honest.
I enjoy an honest man. I like
Be
an
careful
honest
what you
man.
wish for. I'm too honest sometimes.
Gosh.
So,
All right,
okay.
guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have some more dating horror stories for you. So make sure you stick around.